Hi, and welcome to the tutorial on FoldIt. It's going to take place in two parts. The first part I'll show you where you can get FoldIt and get some background information on the program. And the second part will be assuming that you've downloaded it and how you get started with playing it. And again, FoldIt has a lot of help as you go along, so there's not a whole lot for me to say that FoldIt itself doesn't provide. So this will be fairly short. So if you go to FoldIt, just type it in, click on the link, and here's where you would download it from. So on the right hand side then are the different versions you can get. If you want to log in, then it would also tell you how to do that as well too. And if you want information upon what FoldIt is all about, you can just click on this part over here. This will open up a screen that explains a bit about generalities of protein folding, which you already know, but also why this game is useful and why it's not just a game that people play, but it's also a tool that people use to try to solve that really important problem of going from the linear sequence of a protein to its actual fold. So there's lots of information around here, and you can just start clicking on buttons and things like that and finding out what it's all about. Let's assume now, though, that you have downloaded the program, how you would start with this. And FoldIt starts with some introductory puzzles. So these are ones that will take you through some of the steps we've seen before in terms of what the components of protein folding are. So for example, you would start with the intro puzzles. And when you go to these, you can see there's some fairly simple ones where you just say to resolve some steric clash between two side chains and then move elements of secondary structure relative to each other. And it introduces new tools you can use as you go along. So FoldIt starts off with doing simple things with simple commands and things like that you can do. And as you build up, it introduces new commands for you that help you to fold more sophisticated things. So if we start with just this first one, all you have to do now is to resolve the steric clash between these two side chains. And the steric clash is indicated by that spiky red ball that's swirling around. And you can see with this version that it really does try to mimic a video game. A lot of things bouncing around. And if you've got, say, the PC version, I think there's some wonderful sound effects as well too. Unfortunately, the Mac version lacks those. Anyway, FoldIt tells you what you can do to resolve the conflict, resolve that steric clash. And at the top here, it tells you the score, how well you're doing. So what you're trying to do then is to achieve a score that actually exceeds, in this case, 7,900. And what you can do then is you can either click on one of these side chains and try to pull them apart. And when you do that then, you get little fireworks going off, and you've resolved the steric clash. You look up here, you've done pretty well. And then it asks you if you want to move on to the next puzzle. You can also replay it, you can save these things, and do all sorts of things. So we'll play one more puzzle, and then we can turn you loose with it. So it's the same idea here. Now you've got 3 residues to resolve, and you can just move this little peptide around just by clicking and dragging. That's all I'm doing. And if you want to get rid of that kind of bothersome window in the middle, just click on Tell Me More. And then if it still insists on helping you, you just finally click on it to say that's all, and then just away you go. And so you click and drag, pull that one away, click and drag and pull that one away. And again, this teaches you a little bit about how proteins fold to avoid steric clash. Now as the program goes on, as you do more and more puzzles, you'll be introduced to more and more factors that are involved in protein folding, such as hydrogen bonds and things like that. So you can go as far as you want with this. And it's a good thing, again, if you feel you want to learn more about protein folding, it's a good way to do so. If you feel bored when you're listening to a lecture or something like that, and you want to do something else that is normally associated with what you're supposed to be doing, then FoldIt is also a good thing to be used for. If you are using the PC versions, just make sure you turn the sound effects off. They are very exciting, but they can be pretty annoying to your neighbor if they're too loud. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you have lots of fun with this.